Yo, Vilgax on the mic here, and today we got a bit of a surprise video. I had no intention of making this video, to be honest. There's a few vids in the notes app of I've got some plans on making. I was working on a mythical drivers vid. That'll come out kind of soon. But in the meantime, I kind of wanted to do a 2025 driver seat predictions. Because, you know, we got some spare time until the next Grand Prix, Japan being like another week or whatever away. So I wanted to do that. But I think, and also with that, I wanted to do a video about Ferrari. But I didn't feel like doing that either. But more specifically with the driver team predictions for 2025, there's a really big problem. And his name's Carlos Sainz. And I'm blaming Ferrari for all of it. And that's just what I'm going to do today. I have no plans. I got some little images up in, just to kind of like cycle through, kind of use as notes. But that's the plans for today. Let's get it kicking, right? So, Carlos Sainz. The one team he's kind of been very, very, rumored to be in for a long time. Has had a lot of connections. Because of Carlos Sainz Sr., it's Audi. A lot of people have been talking about this for a long time, and I don't want to talk about if any of these are going to happen. I want to talk about what happens if they do happen, right? So if Sainz joins Audi, brother, that is such a big gamble for my boy. Like, the potential driver lineup could be good, right, for the team, for Audi, because we're looking at maybe, depending on how good Joe does this season. I think I'll save my prediction on where Joe will actually line up. But say Joe does very good this season, could end up with Joe. We're not too sure how quick he is, because you gotta compare him to Bottas. Not sure how good Bottas is either, it kind of depends. So that could be a good driver pairing for the team. And Carlos would obviously be the number one there. Or, you know, the other one that's way more likely is to end up with Hulkenberg. Another good driver pairing. I don't really have a problem with these pairings. I think these pairings, either of them, to be honest, are pretty good for like a top 5 finish in the constructors. Around that. Like, they could get 5th around that, right up there with RB if they are continuing to be as good as they are. Aston, but definitely not McLaren. You would hope they wouldn't be immediately with Mercedes. You would hope, and definitely not with Ferrari or Red Bull. But, like, it's just such a reach. I can't imagine Audi coming out the gates and being super competitive. I don't have any doubts that they won't be, like, around 7th or 8th, around there, but, like, lower midfield. But that's, you gotta put some years into this team, I feel like, for it to start becoming competitive. Realistically, right? And Sainz is, he's not getting old, like, he's getting old. But he's not, I don't, it's not hard, I don't know what I'm saying. He's not like ancient, he's not like Danny Ricciardo where he's like 34 or whatever, and he's clearly had his peak and he's declining. It's just worrisome that maybe Carlos Sainz is driving him. I think ever since Zandvoort last year, I think around then, he's been driving super, super well. I think he's closed the gap to Charles considerably. I would personally still say that Charles is a better driver all around. Carlos definitely has some things on Charles. Like, I think his racing IQ, like, defensively and getting it, like, and his win condition is amazing. We saw it in Singapore, we saw it again in the Aussie Grand Prix. But regardless, these drivers are very, very close now. And for these years, if, say, Audi takes 2 seasons to become a top 3 team, where you're challenging for wins alongside like McLaren, Red Bull, whoever it be. It's like, it's worrying. Maybe Carlos Sainz will be out of his prime by then. Like, I doubt it. Well, out of his prime, maybe not. But you would want him to be driving like he is now, or like if he had kept the Ferrari seat next year. There's no doubt he'd be. I have no doubt he'll be driving good next year as well, regardless of what team he ends up in. But Audi. It's just like, it's a huge lack of confidence, I think, coming out. It's probably the thing I want to see the least, if I had to go along with this. And alongside this, next on the Yoki, let's talk about Red Bull. This is a whole can of worms, right? And this section, I think onwards, I want to start talking about how Ferrari dropping Carlos Sainz has given them such a ridiculous problem. All right. Now, for this Red Bull hypothetical, we're gonna say that Adrian Newey has stayed at the team. All of the key components of Red Bull are here, and now Carlos Sainz is here too. So it's Max and Carlos. Yeah, we'll start with that at least. Sorry, Ferrari are not beating a team in the constructors of Max and Carlos, especially if you have the absolute beast that is Adrian Newey as head aerodynamicist. It's just not happening. Ferrari have shot themselves in the foot so hilariously hard. Oh my god. And to be honest, we can get rid of Max. And the thing is, wait, real quick, this is so likely. Everyone knows this is likely. Horner's talking about it. Marco's probably talking about it. He was look at he was in Toro Rosso. This is likely. His father is an Audi Red Bull athlete, unless I just made that up. But I feel like that's actually correct. But bro, you can, even if you take Max out of the equation for Red Bull, say Yuki stays on this path where he's constantly getting better, and he gets the Red Bull seat, and Max goes over to Mercedes, and you have Sainz and Yuki. I really still think that gives, again, assuming Adrian Newey's still on board, putting out these absolute masterstrokes of vehicles, that gives Ferrari such huge problems in the constructors. It's not even funny. Like, and that's just constructors. Sainz could easily win the driver championship. Like, there's probably 6 drivers right now, off the top of my head, that I think, given the right machinery, could win it. 7 maybe. I would have to actually think about it, like, for more than 10 seconds. Sainz is one of those, and you're going to give him what is more than likely going to be the best and strongest car in the field. It took Max 43 races to have a mechanical DNF. Are you kidding? Are you serious? Unreal. And fuck it. We'll say get rid of instead of Yuki, try Sainz and Alonso, Sainz and Albon. These are all driver pairings that sound amazing, bro. Amazing. Are you kidding? Ferrari, and I'll get to it, but oh man, I don't know, bro. It sounds like a huge problem, man. A huge problem. Yeah, you know what do we got next? What do we got next? Oh yeah, and tagging along with this, right? These next, like, okay, you know what? Yo, you didn't see that. But moving on real quick, talking about these two together. This driver pairing, I feared, is just not particularly as strong as I think it is. Lewis, oh man, he's declining. He's declining, man. I'm scared. Look, I'm a Lewis fan. I love Hamilton. You know, big up diversity. My brother. I got the W11 Formula 1 car sitting on my PC as we speak. But man, it's hard seeing this man decline, bro. This driver pairing, if you showed this to someone in 2022 or 2021, especially, like, this is crazy. You're like, oh my god, Hamilton and Leclerc? Are you kidding me? But and then you had the 2022 season, you know, which was pretty unfortunate season for Hamilton. You know, the car was a bit whack. 2023 season, car was still whack, but Hamilton was chucking out good performances. But now you have 2024 as well. But the thing, you know, the thing's consistent all across these 3 seasons is Hamilton having so many struggles with this car. And I don't want to compare him to Daniel Ricciardo because I don't think he's as washed as Daniel Ricciardo. It's a bit much. But it is, you know, at some point I fear, you know, what is it? The car, or is it, you know, it's just Hamilton not being able to deal with these cars not being, you know, master strokes like the W11, and I don't think anyone's really doubting these cars underperforming and not being all there. I don't think anyone has any qualms with that, but you look sometimes at how George is handling this car relatively to Hamilton, and you're like, he should be doing better. In qualifying, he should be higher, he should be much closer to George. In the race, he should be doing way more closer to George. Unfortunately, we did see that DNF, so we didn't see how he could have brought it back or anything like that. But I'm saying all this because another aspect of this, like a big threat to Ferrari, is this driver pairing, and Oscar and Lando, who I would have right now is probably the best driver pairing on the grid. And I don't think that's a crazy thing to say, unless you're giving Perez a bit more flowers, saying kind of like bigging him up, which I think could be fair, could be. I don't believe it, but I wouldn't call you crazy right now. He is seemingly picking his work back up and showing that he's probably like a top 7-ish driver on the grid. Or maybe not. There's a lot of talent on the grid, but he's competitive. I think he's showing that he has some work in. Again, Aussie Grand Prix, unlucky. He picked up some damage. Could have had a bit more in the tank, and showed in terms of his performance. But this driver pairing, again, in a car that is going to be competitive, say it's competitive with the Ferrari car in 2025, another huge problem for Ferrari. They are, oh my dude, they will be, if all this happens, they will be lucky to get another top 3 finish in constructors for 2025. Like, I'm actually serious. And I got another one. Let's move on again. Aston Martin. Unsure about how Aston Martin will shape up. We're not too sure. We gotta really wait for this season, and we gotta have a lot of faith that they can develop their car correctly, and remove Lance Stroll out of the seat. I was gonna say sorry, not sorry. We're all in agreement here. Although I gotta say it, Lance Stroll, spoilers for the mythical F1 drivers video. He grew facial hair and he's become like actually kind of. He's not amazing, but he's good. He looks like he deserves his place here in Formula 1 now. But still, fuck that. If we have Yuki Tsunoda and Aston Martin, oh my god! I was saying, like, again, if Yuki keeps improving, like his raw pace, his maneuvers, everything about him is great, right? He just needs a little bit more maturity, maybe, a little bit more, But I mean, I say that, but we're seeing these performances he's been letting out over the past 10 races, and it's just banger, 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 banger. Oh my god! But the one thing, if there's a driver on this grid that could help Yuki become a near perfect driver and put him in that contention for top 5, it's Alonso. It's the guy who's been racing in F1 for longer than I've been alive on the planet. With Alonso Yuki is a amazing. I'm not sure. I haven't seen anyone talk about it, to be honest. Besides the fact that people are just like speculating Yuki to go to Aston Martin when the Honda collaboration happens and kick Alonso out of the seat, but no one's really talking about the pairing. This pairing's amazing. Yuki and Alonso. Okay, so if we have the Ferrari drive up of Charles and Lewis, McLaren, Oscar, Lando, Red Bull, Max and Carlos. Those are some strong linings. But I would I was gonna say something crazy. But I'm being dead serious. I would sincerely put that driver combination as better than Charles and Lewis, at least. I think that would become, again, assuming these are all even Stevens, equal machinery. I would genuinely put this as like Red Bull probably first. Yeah, probably Red Bull first, McLaren second, and then Aston Martin third. And this is no shade on Charles Leclerc. He's a phenomenal driver. He just let's be real. He deserved that 2022 season. If Ferrari wasn't such a colossal fuck up team before Fred came in, he probably should have and would have won that season like 100%. That was all his. That was genuinely all his. But Charles being the most unlikely driver on the grid, couldn't happen. But even with Hamilton falling off like this, and there's so much uncertainty, and Yuki's out qualifying him in an RB, it's I don't know, bro. And I'm saying this, recognizing that the RB probably does have some qualifying pace. It's clearly not. It's not an Alpine. It's not an Alpine. It's not like this kick Sauber car where you're I'm not even really sure what it's particularly good at, to be honest. The Sauber kind of seems like a worse Alpine. Maybe not, maybe not this year. But in prior years where it kind of just does some. It's like kind of like a jack of all trades, but like a good at a lot of things, but master of none type scheist. I don't know, man. Ferrari have really like done themselves in like super hard. I feel like that's all I wanna rant about. Anymore? Oh, this isn't even like saying like another driver pairing that is also kind of realistic that could happen is Albon and Alonso on Aston Martin. I feel like that's a very that one was rumored about like maybe like a few months ago or like semi recently, and that's another one that gives Ferrari so many troubles. Where the Tifosi are going to be angry in 2025. I'm telling you, listen. If you don't heed the prophecy of Vilgax Cashmoney, if you don't heed his warning, you will regret it. I promise you. This has happened in other mediums in the past. I'm telling you right now. Ferrari, watch your back, man. Watch your back. Watch your back. The Tifosi are going to eat you alive. I'm telling you. And it's going to be all your fault. Alright. That's it. That's my ramblings for today. That's just like, I was just like thinking about these driver pairings for 2025, and I'm like, oh my god, Ferrari just like, oh my god. Whew. But, it's been Vilgax Cash Money. Like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for support on the Daniel Ricciardo video. It's been doing very well. Thank you for that. And remember that I predicted Max DNFing in Australia like an absolute beast. Alright. Have a good evening, day. Selamat datang. Selamat pagi. Ciao. I'll see you in the next video. The next video will be, probably a few days, maybe like 4 days. Goodbye, fellas.